Da, da, da. Hi, my name is Chitra and I'm the head honcho of Noctiluna, and I thought I would tell you a bit about Noctiluna, how the whole venture started, where it all came from. And so I'm going to tell you a bit of a story and a little bit about myself and how I got to this point, and hope it's interesting to you. As I told you, my name is Chitra Sharma. I grew up in London, as you could tell probably from my accent. British Asian, grew up in London. Art wasn't really a very popular career choice for many British Asians at the time, but I did it, and I went to Central St Martin's and I went to Winchester School of Art, and I studied art and specialised in textile design and learned all about screen printing and printing in general, and left college and did a bunch of jobs, and not all of them were to do with printing or printmaking, and not all of them were to do with textiles, which was my major. I went into all sorts of jobs. My first ever job was working as a editor and graphic designer on a very small trade publication, and it was great because I learned all about using Photoshop, and I learned all about how to work with a team, and fabulous. And went on to work in, I thought I might like to carry on the graphic design thing. I did a lot of work experience at magazines, which is how I got into the fashion world, and worked for loads of tiny little textile design companies and fashion companies. Ended up getting a job with Topshop, where I was one of the first style advisors, which is basically a really posh way of saying personal shopper slash sometimes stylist sometimes. It was great, very glamorous, fun. I dressed all sorts of people, dressed loads and loads of celebrities. I think I've dressed Liz Hurley, and I've helped Kate Moss go shopping. And so that was fabulous, but I started to kind of feel like fashion was great, but in my current job, I wasn't actually creating something, and I wanted to go back to being an artist. I didn't know how to. So I stopped working at Topshop, and I started working for small independent firms, just helping out at galleries, helping source young artists for festivals in London. And while I was doing that, I got really into doing all these little projects, and one of the projects I did was painting a mural in Cable Street, East London. And it was to jazz up this great youth employment agency that was starting up there. And while I was painting the mural, I met loads and loads of young people, unemployed young people, and I chatted with them, and I got really into working with young people. Started working with doing some charity work, went into a couple of schools and did some teaching, and I thought, yeah, this is good. I like this. I like doing a job where I can work with people and help them, and I really like teaching. It feels like a good click. It felt like I'd clicked into a part of my own puzzle, and really wanted to do more teaching. So I ended up at the Institute of Education, where I did my master's. I did a PGCE in teaching and became a real life teacher, which was fabulous because I found my calling, really. And I love art. So I chose to be a high school teacher so I could really specialize in my subject area, pass on stuff to people. And the great thing about teaching is you can kind of carry on doing your own little experiments, being an artist in what tiny space of time you have when you're not teaching, but you get to help other people create stuff, so it's all good. Happy in London, being a teacher, finished my PGC, very happy. And who do I manage to bump into but a very nice man who would later go on to become my husband. Lovely man, but unfortunately he lived in the US. Well, at the time it was unfortunate because I really didn't want to leave London. London is a great hub of creativity. It's always been my home. But I did leave it. Subsequently, I did at some point succumb to his, what's the word? Succumb to him, basically. And I came over to the USA, and I moved to Washington, D.C. Well, not really Washington, D.C. proper, but a suburb of D.C. At the time I moved to Reston. It was a really big change. Not really culturally, but it was a change for me in terms of moving from a big, bustling city and then coming to this kind of sleepy suburb, to be honest. And not knowing anyone, not knowing any artists. But, I carried on doing my stuff. I carried on painting. And eventually I found myself a great job, Washington International School, fabulous school. And I started teaching middle school students, and I started teaching IB art to high school students, which is fabulous because it's not just about art, it's about the process. It's about the thought process and creative thinking and critical thinking. Had a fabulous time there. It was all going really well, and I was enjoying what I was doing. And then I got pregnant, had a child, carried on teaching. Things started to get a little bit difficult. It was tough. I had a very big, for various reasons, it was very tough for me to really put my heart into my work because I had a lot of other stuff I needed to do. I'm living out in the suburbs and I've got a kid and a husband who works really long hours, and my work was really far away. And I kept thinking, well, I want to do something. I want to go back to textile design, which I love. I want to go back to making things. I love teaching as well, but maybe I could do all of it. Maybe I could live the dream. Maybe I could still carry on teaching and be an artist and do all those fabulous projects. Maybe I could start my own company. What do you think of that? Big, big thinking. So I left my job. I think I worked at WIS, Washington International School, for 4 or 5 years. Great job, difficult commute. Left the job, moved back home, and I thought, well, this is it. And then I got pregnant with my second child. Fate has a way of doing things like this. And it was tough to get started after having a second child, and, life just kind of went really, really fast and flew past me. And I started Noctiluna, I think, in 2010. My first child was born in 2010. I couldn't really work at a fast pace, but, carried on, plodded on, carried on doing my thing. And now I have 2 kids. One is 4, one is 8 years old. And, they're fabulous. They have some challenges. My youngest child has developmental delays. So, I dedicate a lot of time to my kids, but I also dedicate a lot of time to my art. And, Noctiluna is going strong. It's still a teeny weeny small business. It's just me. I feel like, I've been at it for a few years, but it's still very small. But we're on the cusp of something. I feel like it's going to become something bigger. But I'm just working really hard at it, as much as I can, given my schedule. Mum of 2 kids, husband is always working, living out in the suburbs. Not the most creative place, but still great. I've managed to make some great creative friends over here. I started doing all sorts of stuff. I started screen printing again, which is fabulous, and I hope to show you videos of screen printing and easy ways to print from home. Getting around the whole issue of working from home. I don't have a studio. I can't have one for various reasons right now, but I use the space I have and I work from home. I get around that and managed to do quite a lot, managed to screen print, and I got back to my love of teaching. I do classes for kids. Most importantly, I do camps, summer camps, spring break camps, and they are fabulous, and they are really, really going well, and I'm getting loads of kids into them, and it's just, I'm doing it all. But it's still very small and it's still very challenging because it's just me. It's a one-woman business. So this is really I thought I'd start a YouTube channel. I have a Facebook page. I have a blog, and blogging is one of the loves of my life. Kind of is great for me therapeutically, and, gets out the message of what I've been doing. And I thought, why not start this? And it's another way of documenting what I'm doing. And also maybe passing on some stuff as I go on and I learn things. It's all new to me. As I learn different things, different tips to do with running a small business while getting on with my life in general. And, tips to do with making things. How to screen print. How to screen print with not much in terms of big equipment. I thought I'd pass that all along and maybe, let's see how it goes from here. So yeah, that's it really. That's the birth of Noctiluna. That's the whole story behind what I'm doing right now. Totally low-tech printing, right? Okay. Well, this is where you would come in useful, actually, to hold the screen. Let's Let's try pull, pull, do it once the other way. Come on. Ok. Bellissima.